The secret of the mind that human beings do not know. There are so many thoughts and fears working in the human mind. There are so many worries and anxieties working in the human mind. The consciousness of the Creator is also working in the human mind. The consciousness of the original spirit is acting on the human mind of each avatar. The mind of the heaven is acting on the human mind. Spirit consciousness comes from the spirit. Soul consciousness comes from the soul. The consciousness emanating from the spirit soul is called the mind. The human mind is influenced by emotions, which come from 12 emotion cores installed in the human conception vessel. The human mind is affected by the consciousness that comes from 7 consciousness cores installed in the human governor vessel. The mind is under the influence of the consciousness that comes from unconsciousness. The mind is affected by the consciousness that comes from subconsciousness. The mind is influenced by the consciousness that emerges from waking consciousness. The mind results from the interactions of many different types of energy together. The mind is expressed in the form of composite consciousness formed by the gathering of various types of consciousness. General people believe that the heart is where the action of the mind takes place, whereas scientists assure that the brain is where the action of the mind occurs. The mind reflects the stream of consciousness and also the energies of emotions. The mind is the flow of energy as well as the flow of information. In the human body, the mind is generated by the mind-generating device, which is called the meta-humanoid consciousness implementation system in cosmic terms. This system is also called the MHCIS in short. In the MHCIS of the human body, emotions are born and then combined with the expressed consciousness. Also, in this system, the mind is born through the process of unfolding the information stored in each of the human unconsciousness, subconsciousness, and waking consciousness. Korean ancestors have recognized the venue where the human mind occurs as the mind bag and have called it the Shimpo. Plants also have mind generators installed in their bodies differently for each species. Plants also have their own minds because of such mind generators installed in their bodies. Animals also have mind-generating devices installed differently for each species. Through these devices, different levels of minds can be expressed by different species of animals. The human mind is generated from the mind generator. The device generating the human mind was created by the 15th dimensional cosmic engineering technology and has been installed in the human body. The device generating the human mind is connected to other devices located in the human simpo and those of the human brain. The human mind is embodied at different levels depending on the specification and level of the device generating the human mind. The birth of a human being is the birth of the human mind. The human mind is born by the Creator's action of creation. The level of the human mind back is determined not by human will, but by the information processing ability of the mind generator. The birth of a human being is the birth of a character. The human character is born by the Creator's action of creation and is determined by the manner of the Creator's action of creation that has been applied to the creation of the device generating the human mind. The birth of a human being is the birth of a personality. Personality is determined by the Creator's action of creation related to the creation of the mind generator. Mind-generating devices have been created to be installed in the bodies of conscious creatures by using light as raw materials through highly advanced cosmic engineering technology. The mind generator is installed in the interdimensional space of the body part where the human heart is located and connected to the human simpo and brain. The device generating the human mind collects pieces of information from various parts of the human body and then interprets and integrates these pieces of information. The level of the activity of human consciousness and human intelligence vary depending on the performance of the mind-generating device. Also, depending on the performance of the mind generator, the human mindset is different for each individual, and creativity and abstraction ability also vary from person to person. Sometimes geniuses can be born when brain functions supporting the performance of the mind-generating device are activated. Each person has a different size of mind because the size of the mind generator is different from person to person. Each person has a different speed of information processing executed by the mind-generating device and has a different quality of the information processed by the device. So, it is natural that people have different thoughts about the same things or phenomena and have different levels of consciousness from each other. A special ability or talent to be given when a person is born is usually stored in the form of a folder in the layers of unconsciousness or subconsciousness of the person's mind generator. And when the folder is activated at the time scheduled in the person's life program, it is manifested as the person's natural talent. If a person has a role to transfer heavenly information to the material world, that information is stored in the form of a folder into his MHCIS at his birth, and When the folder is opened at the scheduled time, he comes to know that information naturally by himself without any effort. The spiritual enlightenment which humans wish to achieve so desperately is nothing but the spontaneous awareness of the information contained in a folder stored in the mind-generating device when the folder is activated at the right time. The reason you often fail to control your mind is that the actions of countless energies occurring constantly influence your mind generator, which you will not be able to notice. The reason your mind goes beyond your control frequently is that instincts that humans have as living creatures coexist with the heavenly nature that humans have received from the heaven in your mind. The reason your mind is not at your disposal is that your karmic energy works strongly on your mind-generating device. The reason your mind does not go the way you want is that the energy of the heaven is acting on your mind generator. The reason your mind does not follow as you wish is that the energy of your original spirit is acting on your mind-generating device. The reason your mind is exercised regardless of your will is that particular types of mind or consciousness cannot be embodied normally due to various energy cells installed in your mind-generating device. This is the secret of the universe about the mind. February 11th, in 2021, Udeka wrote.